Welcome, dear student. Myself, V.D. Wankade, Assistant Teacher, Savitribai Phule Madhyamik Shala Bhavanagar Nanded. Now, in today's class, we are going to see about practical science practical part 1, class 10th. Experiment number 1, identification of halide ions, chlorine, bromine, and iodine ions. Aim of today's practical is to identify the presence of chloride, bromide, and iodide ions from the given salt. Now, recruitments requirements apparatus: test tube stand, dropper, and breaker, etc. Chemicals: silver nitrate, solution of potassium chloride and potassium bromide and potassium iodide. Chemicals: silver nitrate AgNO3, solution of potassium chloride, potassium bromide, and potassium iodide. Now, procedure: see carefully, and this is the label diagram of various components in the given diagram. A, B, C test tube. In test tube A contains KCl, potassium chloride, B, potassium bromide, and C, potassium iodide. Now, observation table: reaction, color of precipitate, and inference. First, test tube A, KCl plus AgNO3 equal to KNO3 plus AgCl. Color white, and chloride. Inference is chloride present in test tube A. Similarly, test tube B and C. Observe the color of precipitate and write down the inference as shown in the observation table. Now, chemical reaction: first, second, and third. Now, inferences, निष्कर्ष. अशा प्रकारे हे या ठिकाणी हा फर्स्ट प्रॅक्टिकल आपण पाहिलेला आहे. मित्रांनो, हे तुमच्या वहीत लिहिण्यासाठी उपयोगी पडेल या उद्देशाने आपण हा व्हिडिओ केलेला आहे. त्यानंतर सेकंड, एक्सपेरिमेंट नंबर 2, आयडेंटिफिकेशन ऑफ द टाइप ऑफ रिएक्शन. Aim to identify the type of reaction. There are three types: A, consumption; B, action of dilute sulfuric acid on zinc; and C, effect of heat on lead nitrate. Requirements as follows: and chemicals: magnesium, zinc dust, dilute sulfuric acid, etc. Now, first, consumption of magnesium strip in air. Procedure here, diagram. Now, observation table here. reaction magnesium strip is burnt twice Mg plus O2 equal to twice MgO. Number of reactants 2 and number of product 1. Features of the reaction is there are two reactants and a single product. Magnesium burns with bright flame. This is a chemical change. Type of reaction, this is combination reaction. Now next, B, action of dilute sulfuric acid on zinc. Procedure as follows here, and diagram as shown here. Reaction of H2SO4 with zinc. Observation table. Dilute sulfuric acid is added to zinc. The reaction, chemical reaction is zinc plus H2SO4 equal to zinc sulfate ZnSO4 plus H2. Number of reactants is 2 and number of products is also 2. Therefore, there are 2 reactants and 2 products. The hydrogen gas is evolved in this reaction. In what? Zinc displaces the H2 from H2SO4 solution. Types of reaction is displacement reaction because here zinc replaced to H2. Now next, see effect of heat on lead nitrate PbNO3 by 2. Procedure. Now observation table here. Lead nitrate is heated twice PbNO3 by 2 is equal to heat Pb solid 4NO2 gases and O2 also gases form. Now number of reactants is 1 and number of products is 3. Features of the reaction, simple substances are formed. Types of reaction, decomposition reaction. Chemical reaction is also here. Now next, experiment number 3, classification of chemical reaction as combination, decomposition, displacement and double displacement reaction. Aim to classify the given chemical reaction into the type of combination, decomposition, displacement and double displacement. There are 4 types of chemical reactions. Requirement, chemical. First is action of water on quicklime. Procedure as follows here. Now observation table, which is more important. Vigorous reaction takes place and suspension of slacked lime is formed. A clear solution appears when slacked lime settles down at the bottom of the beaker. The China dish becomes hot. Heat is evolved. Water vapors are formed, and the change in the physical state, slacked lime is a product is a product. Now next, in inferences, see carefully for filling the blanks. Now B, effect of heat on ferrous sulfate crystals. Diagram, label the various components in the given diagram. Test tube holder, hard glass test tube, ferrous sulfate crystal and burner. The observation table. The original color of ferrous sulfate light green. Ferrous sulfate is heated. White powder of anhydrous ferrous sulfate is formed. Finally, it gives a mixture of Fe2O2, Fe2O3, SO3 and SO2. On heating, it becomes white and finally turns dark brown. Color of the gas evolved during heating, first light green, second white and lastly dark brown. The color of the substance in the cold test tube, colorless. Gas with pungent smell evolved. Now next, inferences. Mixture of SO3 gases formed. Dark brown and decomposition reaction. This is an example of decomposition reaction. Now see, reaction of copper sulfate solution on iron nails. Procedure as follows here, and diagram. Two test tube here, copper sulfate solution blue color and ferrous sulfate solution light green, iron nails covered with reddish brown powder. Now observation table here, color of copper sulfate solution before the experiment sky blue, and color of iron nail before the experiment steel gray. Solution becomes light green after the experiment, and color of iron nail after the experiment reddish brown. Now next, chemical reaction. Fe plus SuSO4 equal to FeSO4 plus copper. Emphasis, Cu copper plus 2 and greenish, and this is type of displacement reaction. Now D, reaction between sodium sulfate solution and barium chloride solution. Observation table, the color and appearance of sodium sulfate solution before the reaction. The color and appearance is clear and transparent. The color and appearance is clear and transparent, and lastly the color and appearance of the mixture after mixing to solution is white. Now chemical reaction and inferences. This is a double displacement reaction because here BaSO4 instead of NaSO4 and twice NaCl instead of BaCl2. Now experiment number 4. Study the magnetic field produced by an electric current following through a coil of copper wire. Aim of experiment: to study the magnetic field produced by an electric current flowing through a coil of copper wire. This is the circuit diagram. Label with various components in the given diagram. There are two coils, cardboard, concentric circles on the iron filling, direction of the magnetic field, variable resistance emitter, here plug key connecting wire, and battery. Observation: concentric circular path. These concentric circles represent magnetic line of forces. Now next, inferences, conclusion, magnetic line of force, and lastly second, current and number of turns of the wire forming the coil. So these are the experiment of science practical. First, see you again next or remaining practical. Thanks for watching the video.